Hey guys, it's me Shane. I'm here to give you another Christmas movie review. So if you didn't read the title and you probably just looked down right now from me even saying title, I'm I'm gonna give you a movie that a lot of people probably don't think of when you think of Christmas movies. And that movie is not Die Hard. It is Batman Returns. Yeah, that's right, Batman Returns from 1992, starring Michael Keaton as Batman, Michelle Pfeiffer, or Pfeiffer as I like to call her, as Catwoman, and Danny DeVito as the Penguin. So, what made me choose? Well, I was thinking about what movies to do because you only got 4 weeks, for until Christmas shows up, and I'm trying to think about what movies to talk about and review. And I actually just watched this movie, finished it maybe like an hour or so ago. I wanted to get a refresher because I hadn't seen it in quite some time, maybe like a 2 to 5 years ago. But I digress. What made me choose this movie? Well, James Rolfe, aka Angry Video Game Nerd, boss of Cinemassacre, he actually made a video maybe like a week ago or a couple days ago about how Batman Returns isn't acknowledged like Die Hard. And a lot of people say Die Hard is a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas, and that's the only way the plot would go through if it was on Christmas. Okay, we'll give you that, right? We'll give you that. But I would even argue that Batman Begins is more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard. It has many of the Christmas elements. You got First of all, the movie starts off with Christmas trees, Christmas lights. It's snowing everywhere. Yes, I know in other parts of the world it doesn't snow on Christmas, but generally when you think of Christmas, you think of snow. As well, various times, like the first 2 minutes of the movie, with Penguin's parents, someone says "Merry Christmas." Merry Christmas is said several times throughout this movie. We even have an imagery of mistletoe. There's a tale of forgiveness. There's changing of personalities. There's a bittersweet ending, like a lot of Christmas movies have. Um, it's a lesson, kind of some lessons about family dealing in this movie. Uh, I'm not gonna fully give you a review of Batman Returns, but here, hopefully, I'll try to sum this up in 5 minutes or less, maybe even less than that. We begin seeing, Penguin's odd, strange birth on how he was born disformed. I mean, we even get a strange but funny moment of him eating the family cat before he's thrown into the Gotham River over a bridge. Adopted by penguins 33 years later, the Batman is a thing. These clowns show up, sorry, these circus folk show up to ruin a tree lighting ceremony. Very Christmas. It actually mirrors the Rockefeller tree lighting in New York City. And from there, we have the evil Grinch Shrek, Max Shreks, played by what is that guy's name? Oh wow, I'm actually drawing a blank. Christopher Walken, Mr. Walken. Uh, he's trying to convince the mayor of letting him make this giant power plant. Of course, they mentioned that it's Christmas. Selena Kyle is there. She's a shy, cowering type. She's a secretary, assistant, but secretary, all the same. We have Batman that shows up to save the day. Well, when you speed through, she ends up being a little bit too good at her job because she finds out that Max Shrek's plant basically sucks energy from Gotham because Gotham has an energy surplus, whatever that means, and it's just gonna suck energy for whatever reason. Okay, I had notes here, but I'm just giving you a quick rundown. Uh, Kills her. She becomes Catwoman through some strange magical means, and Shrex ends up he end up being kidnapped by Penguin. They form a partnership because Penguin just wants to know his real name. He wants to know his parents, his real name, where he comes from. He ends up getting an opportunity, but he also is doing some extracurricular things. He ends up finding out his parents are dead, blaze roses at their graves. Very kind of a duality between him and Bruce Wayne. Because Bruce Wayne, when he first finds out, he says, "I really hope he finds his parents." Then we're on throughout the story. We get moments of Penguin's trying to run for mayor, trying to trick the people, thanks to the machinations of Max Shrex. Catwoman is she saved a woman, but then she's telling her you're waiting to be saved by Batman. but it's more or less that she's talking to herself because Selena Kyle was earlier saved by Bruce Wayne. Somehow she ends up having a tussle with Batman, meets Penguin and says, we both have a Batman issue. Let's deal with it through I don't want to say convoluted, but through a very devious plot of getting the lady who lights the Christmas tree, kidnapping her, then killing her and framing Batman. That's how they kind of get him out of the way. They even Penguin's group even hot wired and took over the Batmobile, which I know I'm gonna get over that in a minute. Uh, Batman, Batman ends up somehow before discs were really a thing. He had the CD disc he put in. They would record Penguin talking crap about the people of Gotham being peons and idiots. Now he's playing them like a fiddle. Um, we get a great. Actually, one thing I'm just gonna bring up right now in the Batmobile, he had video camera. That's like 1992. I know there was some video conferences, but that's pretty darn cool. Anyway, he gets control of Batmobile again after blowing out Penguin stuff. Penguin goes back to being the bad guy. No one likes the weird Penguin guy from the sewers. Then his plan switches from becoming mayor after being abandoned by Shrek to I'm gonna kidnap all the firstborn boys of Gotham because he was the firstborn boy of his family, which I don't know if that was his original plot to begin with because he had wrote down all these names already. Uh, at the party that Max throws, the Christmas party, of course, Bruce and Selena meet, and they threw a reversing of words with mistletoe, which turns out Batman. This movie, I don't know if they did this in the original Batman, but this Batman movie started the whole person says a thing, then another person repeats it, and another says it back to someone. I mean, what? Batman reversed where Penguin said things change. Catwoman said mistletoe can be deadly if eaten, and Batman says a kiss deadlier if you mean it. That's how they find out who one another is. After the Shrek's party is invaded by Penguin, and somehow Max Shrex, who doesn't care about anybody or anything, cares about his son. Tells Penguin to take him instead of his dopey, dumb son. The the Penguin's crew is easily beaten by Batman, who returns all the children. The Penguin's third plot comes through of having his penguins, because remember he was discovered by Emperor Penguins, and there's penguins all around this abandoned Arctic zoo area. They all have these cool little rockets. We first meet these guys when they go into the Shrek's party. I love them to death. We meet them. The whole plan is he has the signal that apparently quacks if you're listening to it because it was quacking on Batman's sensor through his little rubber ducky tank thing. So I have the Penguins basically blow up Gotham and kill everyone. Batman, of course, reverses it. They all go back to where the origin was. A tussle happens. Penguin falls from a mighty height. The rockets go off because he goofily pressed the button. Selena Kyle gets Max Shrex because he was in a cage. The whole plan was to drown the children in the toxic waste from Max's plant. And apparently, Max Shrex is a mixture of, it seems like, Scrooge and I don't want to say Donald Trump, but this guy owns like his own department stores and all this other stuff. And he even had a partner go missing, but his partner was actually killed. Penguin had the guy's right hand because he said, you flush it down, it goes on my mantle. Anyway, Max is so kind of sort of kidnapped by Selena. Batman is like, you don't have to kill him, and she says, the law doesn't apply to him or either of us. Which Batman gives a really cool line of "You're wrong on both accounts." I love how much Michael Keaton's Batman is Batman in this, despite lighting a guy on fire with the Batmobile and strapping an explosive to another guy. I mean, both of the guys survived, but yeah, Batman did that. So let's not complain about Batman shooting guns. I digress. He tries to convince Selena to just come home with him. Don't have to kill Max. Max is so dumb, and I'm just gonna get to one of the plot holes. Bruce rips off his mask And Max is still like, why is Bruce Wayne dressed like Batman? He is Batman, you idiot. But apparently, Selena Kyle in this iteration has 9 lives. She claims that she died 3 times already, and then Max shoots her another 3 times, and she gives up another life doing a suicide kill. Penguin, who is not fully dead, grabs the wrong umbrella, says, I'm going to get a cool drink of water, and then I'm going to kill you. He dies being carried back out to the water by his Emperor Penguin family. He also calls his penguins his babies, so it's kind of creepily cute. And we get towards the end of the movie where Alfred is driving Bruce through the streets of snowy Gotham. He sees Selena's silhouette, tries to get out, tries to find her, finds her. She's had a black cat this entire movie, so he finds her original cat, not all the extras that came along with her, and adopts it. And one of the best lines was, "Come what may, Merry Christmas, uh, Master Bruce. Merry Christmas, Alfred. Good and goodwill towards men and women." And then the movie ends with the amazing, amazing Danny Elfman Batman theme, and we see Selena looking up at the bat signal, and that's how the movie ends. So, how's this movie Christmas? Well, the plot centers around Christmas. There's a lighting. That's how we get to interrupt the lighting not once but twice. That's how we get to frame Batman. The movie starts off on Christmas. The movie is basically all about family. We get a interesting moment where I don't know if Penguin was actually sincerely forgiving of his parents, abandoning him because of his, body horrible body dysmorphia, or if it was just a ruse. But maybe it's a little bit of both. Uh, One of the things I'm gonna contradict myself. The movie has no subtlety. Like Catwoman acts like a cat. She threatens to eat the parakeet, and Penguin threatens to kill the cat. He eats raw fish, but that's kind of how he was raised. You get moments of Bruce being a detective, looking into his background. The bird boy, who Penguin may or may not have killed kids when he was younger or eaten them. But anyway, that's where he gets his goons. I thought his goons were leftovers from the Joker, which Joker, the first movie was referenced by Penguin. You got this guy that's a bad, and we have these, clown people. Really, really good stuff when the second movie references the first. Um, but yeah, no, not much subtlety, but I still like it. But there is some really good subtlety. Um, the same bridge that Penguin was thrown off as a baby was the same bridge that he used to escape the people of Gotham when his words got out. Um, Bruce is unbelievably sad. Like the first time we see him, he's moody, and a lot of people say, "Yeah, Batman's moody," but there are subtle hints throughout this movie that he is sad that things did not work out with Vicky Vale. He even mentions to Selena Kyle, no, she was an investigative journalist, but you know, she couldn't handle the duality personality he has that split right down the middle and merged. So that's one. Selena Kyle's switching personalities. Now I know you can say it's pretty obvious when she switches back and forth, but I know when I was younger, and even when I watched this like in my early 20s, I would have sworn like, oh, she's just going crazy because she fell off of a building and she had for whatever reason had cats biting her fingers and whatnot, and I guess the cats coming around her that was honestly the Christmas magic. Selena Kyle becoming Catwoman and getting her cat abilities was the Christmas magic. But there are moments when she's speaking to herself. She's not talking to that woman in the alley saying you're waiting for Batman. Selena is waiting for someone to save her. And herself is saying, no one's going to save you. You have to do it yourself. When she reveals the mistletoe thing, that's the thing that her Catwoman seductive side remembers. And Selena's just kind of blurting it out as she's trying to remember. One of the things I do appreciate the funny moments in this movie. The one right after Penguin's Dirty Laundry is aired, and he's saying, "Why is it always someone that brings tomatoes and eggs to a speech?" Because they're throwing produce at him. Um, when Alfred mentions that the Batmobile, we got to worry about security, Master Bruce, and Bruce Wayne's like, "Vicky Vale got into my cave by just walking down the stairs. Let's not talk about security." And the other one is when I just mentioned, when Selena mentions the mistletoe and they realize who one another's secret identities are, she says, "Do we have to fight now?" And Bruce just says, "Let's just go outside and talk." That's one of the funniest things. Um, what other subtlety moments? Penguin hating the heat. You know, we see fans everywhere that's around him, and even Selena says it's freezing in here. You know, even though it's winter, he still needs to make it cold for himself. And I think that were all the subtle moments I had. I believe so. Another interesting moment was when, so every main male protagonist, every main male character killed Selena. Shrek's pushed her out of the building. Penguin literally hooked her up on his umbrella and she fell through a greenhouse, shocking herself awake after dying again. She says Batman killed her, but I distinctly remember her saying "saved by kitty litter," so it might have been her just lying, just saying everyone killed. Every man kills me. And Selena Kyle even mentions that she has bad luck with men in the beginning of the movie. That her boyfriend doesn't want to just be an appendage and decides to go on vacation without her. And when she says, "Honey, I'm home," oh yeah, that's right, I'm not married. So it's kind of moments like that. Um, it's a bittersweet ending to this movie, but it's nice to know that Catwoman is still alive, and it's nice to know that we get a big thing when it comes to family, like Penguin circus people, and his penguins are his family. Bruce has Alfred, like the love and camaraderie between those two in this movie is amazing. Alfred plays such an amazing role in this movie, especially dealing with things behind the scenes. Love it. And even Max Schreck has a son, and he's willing to put himself in harm's way for his son. Turns out a line in the movie might actually reveal that he actually did love his wife, but he treats Selena Kyle like garbage because he says, "I keep her around because she makes a good cup of coffee." Oh boy. Plot holes. How did the circus people get the schematics to the Batmobile? I'm still trying to wonder that. And then how did Batman know about the penguin thing? Did he just all of a sudden be like, just there's reports of penguins going around. Okay. Why when there was rumblings of a penguin guy in the sewers, why did no one think to check the abandoned Arctic place? And why did why did Catwoman say that Batman was a thorn in her side? She literally threw the first punch. He was just there. She tried to catch him and stop him from dying. He called her to stop her from dying. But then she stabbed him in the side, which, thinking about it, she was very much cat-like. I've met many cats that are like, "Oh, pet me, sure, I'll pet you," and then they scratch your hand, try to scratch your face. They don't allow you to sleep when you spend a night at a friend's house and try to bite your feet. She was cat-like. I get it. I just don't. I don't understand the whole thorn in the side thing. Um, I'm gonna ignore this other point I have right here. But yeah, uh, those plot holes. As much as those plot holes kind of like why didn't really stop to take away from the movie. Still really enjoyed the movie, especially even with the points in the movie where they're not subtle at all. Still really enjoyed it. It's a really good movie. Um, Things I will say, costumes are amazing. Uh, she starts off by wearing wedges, but somehow gets heels. Whatever. I just want to point out, by the way, for cosplay, ladies, not every character wears heels. You can wear them if you want to, but people tell me heels hurt. I wouldn't know, but you should look into wrestling boots. Wrestling boots, you can walk around in them. I digress. Visuals were amazing. There's a moment where when Batman saves Selena Kyle by literally ripping a piece of wall to hit this guy in the back of the head. He gets the nice little Morticia light between the eyes when their eyes meet. The light that's hitting Penguin when he's at his parents' grave. Amazing. Obviously, the Danny Elfman music. The music is so well done. It's very D minor, somber Christmas music. There's always an undertone of sadness and an undertone of mystery. Um, and just one of the things I do like about Batman in this movie so much is the Batmobile. That was my favorite toy, breaking the thing apart from the McDonald's toys and becoming the skinny one. The Batboat, the duck, Penguin's duck. That was amazing. Oh yeah, that's also another subtlety thing. The he had a rubber ducky on top of his cage when he was a baby, so I guess that's just the one thing that stuck. And I guess the another thing to say is because a lot of people, neckbeards mostly, complain about movies not being comics accurate. This movie's not comic accurate at all. Uh, Catwoman does not have special powers. She's just really highly trained, much like Batman. Unless I'm wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. Unless the first Catwoman, which I checked up on, unless some golden age Catwoman had powers, which I don't recall. Catwoman's always had, you know, very well trained thief. I digress. Uh, yeah, like I said, Batman has done crazy things, but these people don't die, so still no kill count. And as with all Christmas movies, what's the lesson? It's the lesson that we're all equal. I mean, there's a crazy moment, which I guess you could say is another subtle moment, where at the Max Shrek's Christmas party, everyone's wearing these elaborate masks and these crazy freaky masks, but the only two people that aren't are Bruce and Selena. In this room of rich snobs, are they the real people wearing the real mask? And these their masks that they have on are the personas that people think they see. Pretty nice and subtle. They seem to be only normal ones. Like I'm rooting for them. I'm even kind of sort of rooting for Penguin to turn himself around, but of course he doesn't. He bites the guy's nose. Family. Christmas theme of family. Family is what you make it, whether it is blood or adoptive. And we see one blood family, and we see three instances of adoptive family. And be yourself. Be who you want to be. The thing that stood out to me was is that in Selena's room, when we first see her room before she gets killed, she had the sewing set there. She had all the things, and I suspect that she came to Gotham to be a seamstress and try to work her way up, but end up getting stuck at a dead end job. Be who you are. She's having a conflict of I want to be this confident person, but I don't want to be bad. I want to be myself. I want to be assertive. You can be all these things without being a bad person. And people who think if a person thinks that you're bad for standing up for yourself or being confident in yourself, they can kick rocks. It's kind of what Bruce Wayne is saying. He's come to terms with who he was. And he's just lonely. He is our Christmas protagonist, obviously. So yeah, this is my review and more of an analysis of Batman Returns. Probably now a movie that is going to forever be in my Christmas rotation. Uh, it is not the best Batman movie. Best Batman movie is of course Dark Knight, but this is easily a vie for number two or number three if you like the original Batman. But yeah, amazing movie. We get Christmas lessons. We get things about forgiveness. We get mistletoe. We get everything. We even get mentions of Santa. How can you not like it? Well, the movie I'm going to review and go over next week is my favorite Christmas movie. Hey, why don't you leave me a comment down below? Tell me what your guesses are. What do you think my favorite Christmas movie is? Do you buy that Batman Returns as a Christmas movie? I really hope you do. You should give it a watch if you get a chance. It is on HBO Max. I won't tell you how I watched it because I just didn't want to bother, but you can find it other ways. I digress. Let me know what you think of the movie. Let me know what you think my favorite Christmas movie is down below. And guys, thank you for taking the time to watch. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, get notified of more videos like this. We do them every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Ooh, we're working hard. So, trying to get to 100 subs at least by the end of January. So, let's get this train moving. As always, be good, be blessed. Wear a mask. Black Lives Matter. Thank you for showing up, and I will definitely see you next time.